Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis, and today we're going to be talking about Quant Network, or QNT. So sit back, relax, and before we fully jump on into this video, I do just want to ask guys, please leave a like on this video. It does help the channel grow immensely, and of course I always do greatly appreciate that. Now with that being said, let's just dive in and let's talk real quick about QNT. I'm not going to be addressing any sort of price action or charts until the next video that I do upload. I'm going to be uploading another video today, really kind of addressing a full market breakdown, because I really want to talk to you guys about not only the short-term volatility in this market, but also the macro views here real quick. So of course on QNT or Quant, we did break down a little bit below that fib level from yesterday, and I told you guys to pay attention to that. If we're even talking about like Bitcoin, right? Like I told you guys yesterday on Bitcoin, if we are breaking up above resistance, it's very bullish. But as long as we're not, if we're not going to break out of resistance, there's no real point to get extremely bullish on, altcoins or even QNT. Like, don't get me wrong, QNT is extremely bullish, but there's no reason to throw money into this at higher targets if you don't need to. Now, with all of that in mind, I do want to talk to you guys about why, if you are holding QNT, you should be extremely bullish, and if you don't hold QNT, why you should be looking to buy this, maybe on a discount, right? So, watch for some low prices to be made. If you guys do want to know my lower targets, I'm going to be talking about that in the next video on this channel. So with this in mind, let's go to this tweet here. So now when we are talking about what Quant has been releasing, so first off, we do see QRC20 secure smart contracts have significant advantages over an HOC approach, including ease of deployment and interoperability, writes Tech MJH, our chief product officer. Now we do see our Overledger is a DLT gateway and doesn't store data or information. Instead, it works as an abstraction platform that orchestrates interactions between various ledgers. All the data is encrypted at the source and cannot be accessed or manipulated. Now, I want you all to realize that I'm sure that some of you are probably like, what did he just say? What did he just read? I have no idea what that even means. So just to kind of reiterate what this says in the simplest form that I possibly can deliver to you guys, is think about Overledger. Okay, it's a gateway bridge. Okay, so think about it's a massive bridge that is interconnected to all DLTs out there. And I'm talking XRP, HBAR, XDC, if you will, any sort of DLT technology. And when I say DLT, all it is a ledger, right? We're talking about distributed ledger technologies that have the possibility to move and transact massive amounts of money. It has massive use cases, volume, traction, whatever the case may be. This is going to allow for interconnectivity without storing data. Without having sort of any massive security breaches or anything like that, and it's going to allow for interactions between these DLTs that could not interact without Overledger. This is interoperability at its finest. This is why I've always said that this is such a massive price tag use case without it being a flashy use case. I mean, talk to somebody about interoperability, they probably won't even, bat an eye at it. They'll probably be like, yeah, whatever, it's, I guess that's okay, it's cool. But then you talk about something like cross-border payments, right? $156 trillion market, and they are saying, wow, that's awesome, that's incredible, blah, blah, blah. But the problem is that you could talk about the big money use cases all day long, but without interoperability, those use cases don't even matter for DLTs, because those DLTs still need to transact between the legacy systems and the new digital, systems as well that are in place. And without interoperability, you could say goodbye to all of those use cases. Now we do see here QNT provides banking grade security. The 4 eyes principle is a risk management mechanism used in banking, which means that a certain activity, i.e. a decision, transaction, etc., must be approved by at least 2 people. QNT is designed to run nation-critical infrastructures. And this is exactly why I say pay attention to what Quant has built in terms of their security grade, infrastructure. I wonder why Quant Network added functionality for 4 eyes and 6 eyes grade payment workflows into their QRC20 smart contract technology. Probably just for fun, right? We do see here Tier 4 will allow escrow or earmarking of funds without hiding the beneficial owners of funds. It will also enable more complex approvals, for example, 4 eyes or 6 eyes payment workflows to protect high-value payments as well. Those high-value payments, well, they already talked to you about it right here. The most highly functional corporate payment and approval flows could be facilitated, such as internal accounting at a large corporate entity. Enterprises could use stablecoins to carry out complex transactions where funds are held in escrow. This is huge. This is all focused on big money payments. Enterprises, corporate, financial institutions, this is going to be extremely huge. And we even see up here, financial institutions can also set up a compliant customer onboarding process by only adding customers to the whitelist once know your customer / anti-money laundering checks are passed. This is huge. Understand that Quant is coming after the big money. We also see with Hyperledger, right? So I've already connected this in another video. The reason why I bring this back up is I want you guys to all know that it is proven that Hyperledger is working with Quant. You know, even through LAC Net, they're working with them, but also Quant has also, mentioned this article that was, talked about, interoperability and Quant's potential through, of course, Hyperledger Foundation. This is a huge reality that has been fully, it's 100% proven, right? Interoperability has been proven from Quant's side, but the thing that Hyperledger Foundation the thing that makes it so bullish is just the numbers and the people behind Hyperledger Foundation. Okay, the numbers prove for themselves behind the names. So let's check out some of these names. So first off, Accenture, right? I've talked to you guys about Accenture before. We're actually going to be addressing it in this video as well. We're going to be talking about why Accenture is such a massive global partner of theirs. IBM, of course, JP Morgan, Chase & Co., Consensus, DTCC. I mean, these are huge names. And of course, here's Hyperledger members. American Express. These are some major banks as well. You guys can see all of the names, CVS as well, DLT Labs, DLT Ledgers, Digital Asset, T-Mobile, Data Chain. I mean, these are some of the big names here. I mean, like FedEx. We know Hedera Hashgraph is already working with Hyperledger Foundation as well. IO Builders, which is focused on stablecoins and CBDCs as well. IPWE. These major connections that Hyperledger has is huge to even some of the other assets that that I talk about and that I tell you guys that are kind of working with these major names. Even Oracle on here, R3. There you guys do see Quant there, Ripple. I mean, this is such a huge company. I want you all to understand here. Even Swift, Visa, Walmart, Wipro. And the list goes on and on and on. And when we're talking about interoperability, right? Who do you think is going to be their interoperability of choice? Okay, they know that Quant is such a huge piece of the puzzle for DLT interoperability at scale, and there's a lot of DLTs already working with, Hyperledger Foundation. More so, even Hedera and also even Ripple. And there's so much more. I mean, even Stellar was labeled there. If you guys did, miss that down here. Where is it? There it is. Stellar's also labeled here. I mean, it's huge. I really want you guys to understand these massive connections. But let's just talk about one, right? Let's just choose Accenture. First partner, or I should say first member here in the Premier League. So let's go check this out. So here is, of course, Accenture. Funny thing is that look at the numbers behind just one company here. 674,000 employees worldwide, 200 cities with Accenture locations and operations across 50 countries, 7,000 clients served throughout more than 120 countries, 8,200 patents and patents pending worldwide, and 185 partners in their ecosystem alone. This is so huge. And here, how we work with clients, you guys can see some of the names. I think that they have the names here, or maybe they don't, but you can see some of their industries that they're in. I mean, here's all of the industries that they're pretty much focused on. This is a huge company. Okay, and I've talked to you guys about Accenture before with, I believe, I want to say Hedera or Ripple. One of them I was talking to you guys about. These are huge companies that are working with, not Oracle, I shouldn't say Oracle, but with Quant already. I mean, these have direct connections with Quant through something like Hyperledger Foundation. But at the end of the day, there's only going to be one major choice for interoperability, and that is going to be Hedera, or not Hedera, Quant. I'm so centered on Hedera being with Hyperledger Foundation, and it's just such a pattern for me to say, Hedera for an example. But we do see probably nothing QNT, and here we have direct connections with QNT with, Simba, LAC Chain, SIA. I mean, Quant is such a big name. Like, and you do see this kind of broken down. Like, you see, for example, like Oracle, 430,000 customers, 10,000 cloud, customers as well. You see UK Cloud. You see Simba, which is like Microsoft, SAP, Consensus, LAC Chain, Citibank, Everest, SIA, 19 central banks, 570 banks, 2,000 financial institutions. You guys can see the clear numbers here. I mean, these are huge numbers that I don't think people are really, realizing. And when we are talking about Simba, like Simba is a huge player as well. Like, here's about Simba, bringing Web3 to life for the rest of the world. Now, they were formed back in 2017. It's a solution to provide secure messaging in the blockchain for the DoD. From there, applications have been created for supply chain for Boeing, food tracking and verification for TOKs, certification and asset management for state DMVs, NFT marketplaces for sports franchises and clubs, among many others. So again, they're focused on huge use cases here. Here's their team. You guys could see all, you could read all about this on their website if you guys want. But I want to shine a light on their partners. So here's their partners. Now, I just talked to you guys about Ernst & Young just the other day for Hedera, actually. Huge company, massive names. They're talking about tokenizing everything. We know some other names on here, obviously. I mean, there's names that you probably all are aware of. But this is also a major, company. I mean, these are huge names in the space. And, of course, they're focused on major use cases through, Web3. The funny thing about here is that you could see all of their solutions, right? Like NFT marketplace, enterprise education, asset tokenization, all of this stuff. But again, what do all of these use cases need at the end of the day? Seriously, like when I've talked to you guys about interoperability through like the Internet of Things, for an example, and even the Internet of Value. Without clear interoperability, there's not going to be that much adoption. Okay, these networks need to be able to communicate with one another to transact value. Like imagine buying an NFT on Ethereum and you want to transfer it over to, I don't know, we'll just say like Hedera, right? It could be streamlined through interoperability. Okay, interoperability will be able to connect all of these blockchain technologies and these massive crypto networks to one another. We even see here, I invest in companies that are going to be here, in 5 to 10 years' time. And I genuinely believe that the Overledger network will be one of the most important pieces of infrastructure of our lifetime. And it will. Okay? I honestly believe that at the end of the day, when we're talking about Overledger and when we're talking about Quant, this is one of the most incredible use cases that we have seen in the entire crypto space. Not a lot of people talk about interoperability because they just don't really understand it, or it's not a flashy, cool use case. I could talk to you guys about crypto assets like, Ripple all day that have trillion-dollar use cases behind them, like on-demand liquidity, cross-border payments, stuff like that. And that's great. Everything about that's awesome. Like, trust me, I think that XRP's value is going to surge as long as it's utilized properly. But QNT's value, when it's fully unlocking these doors for all of these DLTs to actually be able to be fully adopted and utilized properly, the value of QNT as a token, okay, because we got to realize that Quant isn't, powered by QNT. Nothing on Quant's network is truly powered by QNT. But I will say this, Overledger, anything that happens on the Overledger network needs QNT. Any transaction that gets pushed over Overledger needs QNT. So just imagine the amount of volume and value that will flow over that network, and think about how much value and volume will also flow within QNT as just a token alone. This is why QNT will see massive price targets for it as a token. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on. If you guys want more free content, you guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. But with that being said, I hope that you all have a beautiful day or a beautiful night wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.